I've had this Sega Saturn for the better part of 20 years, if not longer. It was a sidewalk sale at Menor Mall, and Sam Goody had this, complete in box, for $20. Since then, I've only acquired a couple games for it. By the time I realized what was going on with the Saturn, it was too late, and I couldn't pick up all those really amazing games like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Burning Rangers, Magic Knight Rayearth, or any other big ones before they became really expensive and hard to find. So the Saturn for me has sat in my basement hooked up to TV sometime, and sometimes not, just waiting for the opportunity to make it amazing. And when the summer began, that's what I said I was going to do. It's time to give the Sega Saturn the love it deserves. Now, I know it wasn't the most popular system in the world, and when it came out, it was pretty much marking the beginning of the end for Sega. But I know there's so many people have such fond memories of it, and some of the games are apparently absolute classics. Now it's time for me to finally experience those absolute classics, thanks to my friend and yours, Retro Vic. Let's talk about what exactly he did to this and what we're going to do with this Saturn and how we're going to hook it up in this video today as I go about showing you what I'm going to call my ultimate Sega Saturn. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the technical things because I'm not a technical person. This is for a funsies channel, so let's just pop this open real quick and see exactly what's going on inside. You will notice this thing has something called the Fenrir Duo in there. That is an optical disc emulator, and in that ODE, that optical disc emulator, which is this board right here, there's an SD card, a very heavy SD card, and on top of that, we also have this little mount here so you can access the SD card if you were to open up the Saturn right here. So that's the first thing that was done. This also has the Retro 6 clean power supply, so I can use a USB-C charger, I should say a USB-C adapter, for this particular system. I don't have to worry about the original power supply. So that was the major stuff that was done to it. Now the Fenrir is not hyper expensive, but having the wherewithal and the knowledge in order to load it up, that's something I don't have, and I rely on other people for that. Either way, that's what I had done to it because that's the most important part, is the Fenrir and the power supply. So now we've modernized it, put an optical disc emulator inside of it. It's all ready to play all those classic Saturn games without breaking the bank. And that's the reason why, by the way, I've turned to the high seas stuff. I'm sure if you've looked at Sega Saturn prices, they are insane. Like, they are good used car insane. And I understand they're collector's items. People didn't give the Saturn the love it deserved when it came out. And I really don't think Sega did either. But the point is, it's a little cost prohibitive, especially if I want to bring these games into Game Club. I can't justify on a teacher's salary spending $1,500, $2,000 on some of the absolute classics for the Saturn just so the kids can try them out for a half hour 1 week. That doesn't make any sense for anyone. So we've turned to the high seas edition for our consoles. So that's the Saturn all ready to go there. It's got its mods installed. The other things I picked up for this are things I think will help adopt this system to the modern era. And that first off is two 8-bit due Sega Saturn controllers. The only issue with these is that they're not wirelessly compatible. At least they don't have that by default. So I also had to pick up the wireless adapters specifically for the Sega Saturn. Now, these are Bluetooth receivers, supposedly, and you just go ahead and you plug them into the Sega Saturn port in the front, like so, and then it should recognize those controllers. Now, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm not sure how easily they'll pair up. I've heard nothing but good things about 8-bit due, though, so we will see what happens. Unfortunately, Amazon put the stock sticker over the instructions, so that's going to be a fun little lookup soon here, but that's the idea. Okay, so we got those there. And then finally, I bought a very expensive component video cable, which is meant for the Sega Genesis. However, you can also get this adapter to use it on the Sega Saturn. I want to see the best video I can out of this, short of modding it for whatever RGB out if that's even possible. So I figured the component cable on a CRT like it was meant to be played will look fantastic. Either way, it's time to stop talking, open all this stuff up, and then get it hooked up to the TV and give it a test run. The easy part is always unboxing. Now here's the hard part. We need to hook all this stuff up to the TV and get it going again. And I gotta make sure I have my USB-C charger cable still. It looks like I do. Where's that going? Oh boy. Where's this going? Oh, it's going to the Dreamcast. Okay, we'll put our power through. And then we need our component cable to go in. Do we have one spot left? We have one spot left on our switch. Very, very desirable spot. Now, can I get this in here? This is gonna be awkward too, because I have that. Oh man, you want to talk about disrupting the whole system here. You got the Xbox, got the PS2, and that's the Time Crisis cable there. But it's going to run interference unless I can get that, like... It's always like, this is the problem with adding or removing one or two things. You add one thing, it messes with stuff. You remove one thing, it messes with stuff. All right, Put this component cable up to this. These are the colors for stereo. The cable is very heavy, but like the leads on it are kind of not great. But they came recommended. People like retro tinks, so I'll go with it. Okay, there's that. This can go back. Feed that back there a little bit. There's a cable. This is the original Saturn cable. This is the original power cable I had for it until I messed with stuff. I guess we can pull this out now, huh? Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh, that cable thing.
Okay, see what I just did? Okay, this is the unfun part. I was looking forward to this. We're turn the TV on right away so I can see what's happening. Because if there's something wrong, I want to be able to turn it off like right away. And we'll go to our Toshiba color stream because we just can't be normal, can we, Toshiba?
Nope.
So we're almost there. Now we got USB-C clean power. Then we got video out. At least they have arrows in the connectors, man. Let's see what we got. This should be on the last one here. All right, let's see what happens. Show me something good, Sega. Show me a functioning... So far, so good. The picture's clean, too. That component looks really good. Okay, well, we have something, but we have no controller. So let's get these figured out, and we'll come back to you pretty soon here. Okay, we got power to the system, and now we're going to go ahead and pair one of these controllers up just to get it ready. So it says press B and start to turn the controller on, and I got my flashing light, so it looks like we're on. Then it says hold the pair button for 3 seconds, enter pairing mode. I'm guessing the pair button's up here, so we'll hold it 1, 2, 3. And now we got flashing lights here, and then I probably just press this button, and hopefully that works. Gosh, that would be nice if that works. This is still in pairing mode, and so is this. Please have a good connection. Please? No? Okay. Oddly enough, this is the concerning part of the whole project. For some reason, I have a hard time getting these things to work at first. All right, maybe that's not the right one. Maybe this is the one that goes with it. I don't think they're keyed necessarily, but we're going to try and find out. So B and start. Turn it on, okay. Hold that receiver down for 1, 2, 3 seconds. Rolling, okay. We'll press that. Maybe they are keyed.
Oh.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
Oh.
So I bought 2 of these, and this is for anyone else might be useful for you. I bought 2 of these controllers. I wanted to use the Japanese colors first, but that's not going to happen. Either way, I was able to successfully pair the 8-bit do with the receiver, following the instructions. But if you buy more than one of these controllers, just be aware, the receiver is kind of like, it's picky, that's for sure. So I'm not sure why that worked that way, but it did. So I'm going to boot this up here, and I've put the 4 megabyte / Action Replay Plus in here because I want to see how to get into the menu system with that already in there. So we got our controller ready to go, hopefully. We're going to start game with no cheats, and I'm hoping this will just bring us right into the Fenrir menu. What's that?
It just looks really pretty.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, so when we have the Action Replay on, I just went to start game. It brings us into here. That means we don't have to worry about swapping out that 4 megabyte cartridge. For those of you who know, a lot of the games that came out later for the Saturn in Japan required the 4 megabyte expansion cartridge, much like the N64, to run a bunch of those sprite-intensive games. So you can see this is our real simple menu here. There's options down there. I don't really care about the options. I'm not going to mess with anything because I think it's set up perfectly. But you can see it looks like we have pretty much the entirety of the Saturn library on here, including those hard-to-find ones. Let's see, we got Golden Axe. There's a Golden Axe. Didn't know that. Golden Axe, the Duel. Never heard of that. Impact Racing, Hyper. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here. Magic Knight. Magic Knight Rare is one of those very expensive games. All the Mega Man, Mortal Kombat. We can go this way. Panzer Dragoon, Saga. That's the big one. There's just a lot going on here. So I'm not sure, but I'm pretty positive this is everything. And I'm excited. Shining Force, another heavy hitter that came out in multiple parts. Slam and Jam. Space Jam, of course. I have to have Space Jam. Tetris. What do we got? Street Fighter. All kinds of stuff. The virtual games, that's going to be fun. Children of the Atom. Man, there's a lot of good stuff on here. A lot of stuff I forgot about, too. Warcraft 2 came out for the Saturn. I had no idea. Virtual Open Tennis, Virtual On. That'll be fun. Cyber Troopers. Virtual Fighter, Virtual Cop. That's what those 2 things over there are for. The Tomb Raider, Unfinished Business. Not sure what that is. Whole bunch of stuff here. I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I've been waiting for years to play all these games, and now they're all here. I don't know what to do with myself. So do we have our one we want to play? There it is, Burning Rangers. Let's fire that up. So just to be sure, that's the menu for the American games. There's also a bunch of Japanese-only games. I went in that menu separately, and I put them on, and you'll see that later in the video. But yeah, this seems to be working good. Look at that. If you're thinking about doing this and hooking a Saturn up to a CRT, get the component cables. Get the, what is it, the Retrovision, what were they? I put them away, Liz. I'm trying to be responsible. Retrovision. If you're thinking about doing this, whatever you want to your Saturn, Retrovision cables, they're for the Genesis, and then you buy the Saturn adapter. It looks great. It looks absolutely incredible. How many years we spent listening to
I know.
this on Samba de Amigo and never playing the game? It's exciting. All right, well, I'm not sure how this is going to play. We got Burning Rangers finally. I've been waiting for years to like commit to this
Mhm.
with the cost of it and everything, and it looks really good. It's so clean.
Mhm.
It's
Very
so clean.
clean.
It turns out when you see this kind of stuff on a CRT like it's meant to be made, it looks a lot better than the LCDs because people at this point are used to them being on LCDs scaled in weird ways. But this kind of shows what it should look like. So I chose to boot up Marvel vs. X-Men first, and hopefully you can see from this that those component cables were 100% worth it. Like, this is extremely clear. The Saturn to me was always a bit muddy graphically. This looks incredible, and hopefully it looks good to you too. Let's press start. Let's see how it plays, because they promise almost zero input lag, so let's go from there. I will also tell you this is a Japanese game. You'll need the 4 megabyte cartridge in your Saturn to make it work, just so you know. It's very responsive. I'm not good at fighting games, but it's very responsive. Yeah, it plays like normal. I don't really see any input lag. It looks great. It moves very smoothly. Like, this is really nice. I really miss those hand-drawn sprites, man. There's something about them that looks really good. Cool. I'm not going to win, but hopefully there you have it. There's the 8-bit controller on our Ultimate Saturn here. Everything seems to be working just fine. Anyways, that's good enough for me right now as a proof of concept to show that it works. We'll be having a game night soon, and I'll have this set up with hopefully Virtual Cop 2. That'll be the next thing to test out. Either way, I'm glad I finally took the time and energy and money to invest into the Sega Saturn. It's going to be an awesome thing to explore all these old games, many of which are just locked to this console forever. For some reason, Sega's insistent on releasing Sonic games over and over again, but does not want to tap into its old library of amazing games stuck on the Saturn and the Dreamcast for that matter. Either way, the controller seemed to be working fine, the Fenrir is working fine, the clean power is working fine, and if it wasn't, we would have known by now, trust me. A huge thank you to RetroVic out there for setting this all up for me and getting all good to go. I really appreciate it. Thanks to you, we have the Ultimate Sega Saturn down here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some more tests to run, some games to try out, and a lot of time to spend with this classic system here that just doesn't get that kind of love anymore. Hope you enjoyed looking at this Ultimate Sega Saturn with me, and we'll see you in the next one.